Good afternoon. My name's Annalise Bell and I'm the Technical Sales Manager for the Virtual Power Plant and Flexibility team in the UK. Thank you for joining our webinar today on demand-side response. This is the last in a series of webinars on the solutions that E.ON has to offer. You can find the other webinars on YouTube. I'm joined by my colleague.
My name's Sean McGee. I'm a Key Account Manager for E.ON Energy Solutions business.
So if you'd like to ask any questions, you can click in the Ask a Question box on the top right-hand corners of your screen. We'll try and answer all of these questions, but if we don't have time today, then we'll make sure that we get back to you in the coming days. So today I'm going to be talking you through what demand-side response is, how it works, the benefits to customers of demand-side response, the all-important question of how much your business can earn, and the next steps for you. So as you're probably all aware, the energy system is fundamentally changing. We're seeing more power stations coming offline and being replaced by intermittent renewable sources of energy. We've seen the first day without the need for coal back in April since the 1880s, and around 30% of our generation is now made up of renewable sources. Whilst obviously this is great as we move to a renewable, sustainable future, it's increasingly challenging now for the national grid to keep the system in balance. Whilst this is challenging, it also gives rise to lots of opportunities for businesses to participate in DSR schemes. So by demand side, we mean any flexible load or generation that's connected to the distribution network. And when we say response, this is where any customer or business is able to modify either its consumption or electricity generation in response to these signals, either by national grid or it could be changes in the market prices. So on the electricity system, you've got a number of people with different types of flexibility. We're seeing increasing number of electric vehicles on the system, increased number of small power stations such as on-site generators, backup generators, increase in number of retailers with HVAC demand that has flexibility in this, increased number of battery storage, and any large manufacturing companies that are able to shift their electricity consumption. On the other hand, you've got a number of people in the electricity system with flexibility. So if I just pick out a few, it starts with national grid. They have a need to keep the grid in balance at all times and keep the system operating at a frequency of 50 Hertz. End users or businesses such as yourselves would like to make the most out of their existing energy infrastructure and lower their net energy spend. Distribution network operators, again, want to lower their spend and ensure that flexibility is there so that they can allow for the aging infrastructure, which wasn't originally designed for renewables on the system. So E.ON's virtual power plant aggregates all of these flexibilities and connects it to, matches it to the needs on the electricity system to an overall efficient, make the system more efficient. So how does demand-side response actually work? I think the best way for me to talk through this slide is to talk through an example. So previously, when there were peaks in demand and electricity demand was very high, the national grid would have relied on fossil fuel power stations to meet that demand. Now, as I've said, there's fewer power stations and more renewables on the system, so it's becoming increasingly difficult to balance the supply and demand and keep the frequency at 50 Hertz. So businesses can participate by either increasing their generation or decreasing their electricity consumption, or alternatively increasing their electricity consumption and decreasing their generation to help keep the system in balance. So there are three key ways that businesses or customers can help and deliver demand-side response. Firstly, through turning down the use of electricity. So we could have large high street retailers across a number of stores reducing their HVAC, refrigeration, lighting demand. Alternatively, you could have large industrial manufacturers that will change their shift patterns to avoid the peak periods. And thirdly, you could have customers with CHPs or backup generators, and increase in production from this generation on site. This slide gives you an overview of the markets that E.ON is currently offering for demand-side response. So starting at the top, we've got the frequency services and the FFR. This is where assets would need to respond within 30 seconds, and obviously the quicker the assets can respond, the more revenue they're likely to get. Going down, you've got into the reserve services, so you've got short-term operating reserve for positive flexibility and demand turn-up for negative flexibility. Going down again, capacity market. This was started as part of the electricity market reform to ensure that National Grid have enough capacity for the future. And providers of capacity market are given 4 hours notice of a potential system stress event. Next one down is triads, and this is the way National Grid recoup their transmission network costs, and it's the 3 highest average demands in the winter period. And we can help businesses to manage these triad costs. And lastly is spot optimization, that's available for customers that are on supply with E.ON, and this is where we can help them to generate additional revenue through the wholesale markets. So customers will basically set a minimum strike price, set the parameters that they wish for a number of run hours, start times, and we can help generate additional revenue either as a bolt-on to demand-side response or as a product on its own. So this shows you an example of our virtual power plant system and how it works and how your business could get connected. So there's 3 options really. Either we could install a communication box on site, either we could connect via your existing SCADA system, or alternatively for customers that wish to have, I guess, more control, then we could use a manual dispatch and actually phone the site operators ahead of potential National Grid warnings. So the platform is monitored 24/7 by our market operations team, and we have signals feeding in from both National Grid and also signals on the energy markets. We've got a customer portal where customers can go in and let us know of any planned maintenance periods, and also our app, so you can monitor your assets in real time anywhere you are. I'll now hand over to my colleague, Sean.
Thanks, Lisa. So I'm going to talk about the benefits to customers of participating in DSR. So energy costs are increasing and they are going to continue to increase. For most customers in the UK, there's nothing that they can do to avoid those cost increases. By benefiting and participating in DSR, it allows you to net off some of those increases and take control again of your energy costs. So you're future proofing. So with the renewable generation that's coming online, the network is going to become more volatile and there's going to be more need for flexibility in the system. By participating early, you can avoid extreme peaks in the future energy prices, and we can turn this into an opportunity for you. It helps you to improve your corporate social responsibility because you as a customer are helping to keep the lights on. So some customers that we work with like to promote this to their supply chain, and they've found that this is something that's been beneficial to them. Efficient use of capital. So with DSR, there really is little or no investment from yourself is required, and in most cases we've found that there is no investment required at all. So we come up with a bespoke solution for you. You know your business far better than we do. So we come up with a demand-side response risk strategy that is built around you. So it's built around your risks. We put in any parameters that you want us to include so that you know we're working solely on your behalf and within your guidelines. Improve reliability. For a lot of customers who've got, for example, a diesel backup generator, they find that because of the activations and the tests, that they have noticed any faults in their technology early, and because that's something that they wouldn't have found out if they hadn't been participating in DSR. 24/7 monitoring. You don't have to worry with DSR. We take all that away from you. We monitor the markets. We are talking to National Grid, so you don't have to worry. We'll be the ones that will take that control and take that away from you. Monitor anywhere. As Annalisa says, you can keep a track of your assets and what markets they're going into, so you've got visibility of what's going on with your business and your assets at any time. So now is for the interesting stuff. So what can you expect to earn? So for this, we've used a 2 megawatt backup generator, and we've made some assumptions. So we've assumed that the generator can ramp up in 3 minutes. So Annalisa mentioned the markets, and because of the time it takes for a diesel generator to ramp up, it couldn't participate in FFR where you need to ramp up in 30 seconds. So because of this, we've assumed that the generator can participate in capacity market and benefit from triad and store. We've assumed a 20k per megawatt closing price for capacity market, and we've also assumed 60 activations per year. So the revenue for a 2 megawatt backup generator is £100,000 a year, which is 50k per megawatt. You will have an increase in fuel costs, but that will be offset by the reduced import prices that you pay. So what have we helped our customers save? And I'll go back to the point of there's no capital required or very little capital required. So this is to be seen as a revenue stream. So far in 2017, we've helped our customers to generate revenue and savings of around 1.37 million. This is expected to increase to 4.3 million in 2018 and then 8.1 million in 2019. So as you can see, we've really helped our customers to generate some really healthy revenue streams. Are you suitable for DSR? So if you're an energy intensive customer or you have any generation on site, such as on-site generation or backup generation, then you really could be suitable for DSR. So if you feel that you meet that criteria, please contact us and we'll be able to talk you through the process. So why partner with E.ON? So unlike other aggregators, we can offer you a 360-degree service. We can take a holistic view of your business and make recommendations for you to become more energy efficient. So we can make any existing assets that you've got more efficient or install more energy efficient equipment on your site. This will help you to reduce your energy costs and make your business environment more comfortable and more efficient. We can help you become less reliant on energy from the grid by providing you with on-site generation solutions. We're technology agnostic, so we will look to install and recommend the technology that is right for your business and gives you the best return and maximises efficiency. We offer operation and maintenance contracts, so we offer 25-year O&M contracts, and we offer a number of performance guarantees with our solutions, so you know that you're future-proofing your energy requirements and you've also got the guarantee wrapped behind that. And as we've talked about today, we can also offer you flexibility solutions with DSR and also resilience opportunities through our battery storage team. Thank you very much for listening to Annalisa and I today. We will now open the floor up to any questions that you may have.
Okay, so looking at the first question then, how do you think MCPD could impact DSR operations? So as you may or may not be aware, there is a new regulations, the Medium Combustion Plant Directive, that will be coming in. It's passing through Parliament as at the minute. So that basically states that any generator going into new balance and services agreements such as capacity market or store after the 31st of October 2017 will have to comply with MCPD emissions limits by the 1st of Jan 2019. So yes, this will have an impact on backup generators and some CHPs if they do not meet this criteria. So at E.ON, we're working with a number of backup generator contractors to identify ways to help on abatement equipment. So that is something that we're looking into. And if you do feel like you may be suitable for DSR, but you do have a backup generator or CHP, then just make sure you get in contact and then we can work through and find a solution that's right for you.
Okay, so what's the process now? So if you do think that you could participate in demand side response, and there are some contact details within the presentation. So if you get in touch with us, one of our key account managers will either schedule a telephone call with you or meet you at your site face to face. We will have a look at your assets, ask for some half-hourly data, which we'll do some analysis of, and we'll pull together a high-level commercial proposition. So that will tell you what DSR markets you could participate in and a view of what sort of revenue you could expect to earn from participating in those markets. Following that, if there is an interest there, then we will work with you to move the process forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're running out of time, unfortunately. So that is it from myself and Annalisa today. As I said, thank you so much for listening to us today, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you need any further information, please get in touch. Any questions that we've not been able to get round to today, we will answer and come back to you. Thank you.